Like what Dolph and I did with the camo was it was such a big movement, man. I don't know that it can ever be duplicated or
Yeah.
And so the idea from the camo, was it your original idea, was it his, or it came together and then you guys decided to do the camo?
It came together, man. So like I said, I'd already done Dolph's Rari and we had a relationship, and I had done a few other cars for him. But when he was recording Major, he hit me up like, yo, come down to the studio, I want to talk to you, like we're gonna do some shit. And so I went down to Street Execs and we were just, honestly, we were just smoking L's and kicking it in the studio, and I was listening to shit that y'all would hear a year later. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so this whole time he's like, man, I wanna, you know, back then, this was like late 17. But then like the big move was all these dudes in Dubai were posting up pictures of like cars in driveways. There'd be a fleet of them all chrome, you know, gold chrome, whatever it be. But like most of that shit was over in Dubai, and that was the big move for a fleet of cars. And Dolph had a vision like, yo, I want to do something with my cars that's just so over the top of what these dudes over here are doing, you know? And we went back and forth for probably a month or more, like, and me like, man, I don't know what Dolph, I don't know the answer. Like, this dude over in Dubai got 10 cars in the driveway that are all gold chrome. Like, I don't know how we're gonna top that, bro. Like, they only make these materials, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And we don't print, so he wanted something that was authentic to him and that was one of one, that nobody had done before. And that's a tall order. Like that's a challenge. Yeah. And so there was a lot of like us going back and forth and just kicking it and running different ideas, and one of his favorite colors was green. But something that kept sticking out in my mind, like every time I'd be at the studio or be around him or we talk about it, he always used the word major. Like at that time it was like, bro, this shit gonna be so major. And I'm like, man, shut up. Like, I get it. This shit gotta be big. But nah, bro, like major, it's gonna be fucking major. And so we kept on and kept on. I'm like, bro, shit camo then. Go to war with these motherfuckers. Like, if that's what you wanted to do, we're gonna go to war, let's go to war. Let's dress up for war. And then we started looking at camos and different things. And ironically, like, honestly, I just put this shit together in my head, like probably like 2 or 3 weeks ago, because we were talking about Dolph, and somebody asked like, how'd I did camo before Dolph? And I did. So I had a basketball player back like late 16, early 17, that had me do a Z06 in snow camo. And that was the first one I had ever done by myself, you know. I didn't associate it with Dolph at the time. All these years, I didn't associate it with Dolph at all. A couple of weeks ago, we were looking through like old pictures. Dolph's orange Rari was at my other shop, like we call it the middle shop. I've had 3 buildings. But Dolph picked up his orange car when that snow camo Z06 was at my shop.
Oh, wow.
So again, I didn't realize till recently, I think like he probably got a little bit of that idea
from seeing the Corvette.
Unconsciously in his head from seeing that Corvette when he picked up his Rari.
That's incredible.
And so again, him and I kind of, you know, go back and forth, and we're like, all right, let's do camo. And so we looked at all the camo stuff, like obviously like anyone else. We Googled camo wrap, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I'm not saying I'm the first one to ever do camo. I'm not. Like, there was plenty of stuff that was printed like little small prints of camo and different colors, whatever. But it just looked whack. Like it wasn't, it was just patterns, repetitive patterns. And so Dolph was like, look, bro, this is what I want, but I want you to blow it up and make this shit like larger than life. Like, you know what I'm saying? And make these patterns, make it fit on the car. Like these little shapes, these little patterns, it shit don't look right. Like I want something
major.
Something major. I want it major and make it big. And so I came back, you know, and like put all these colors together, and there was one color that we were missing and nobody offered it. So so I literally, like, I had it made. I can't tell you the recipe, but I took some shit and I made a color, right? And when I made that color, although it was the smallest amount of color used on the car, it completed it.